Stop scrolling. This is not your typical advice video. What you're about to hear could completely change the way women see you forever. Imagine knowing exactly what to say to make her heart race, to make her crave your presence, without playing games or pretending to be someone you're not. By the end of this video, you'll discover 2 simple words that can make her feel a magnetic pull toward you. Words most men will never know, words that create real desire. Watch closely, take notes, and don't just passively listen. This is your blueprint for authentic attraction. Comment below your location, where you're watching from. I want to see how far this message travels. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more life-changing insights you won't find anywhere else. You've probably heard it said before, words are powerful. But have you ever stopped to consider just how powerful they really are? Every word you speak carries energy. Every phrase, every subtle you choose has to tone you desire, or is the ability to inspire desire, or to see, to call to those one, or push someone away. When it comes to attraction, most men focus on looks, wealth, or status, thinking those things alone make a woman crave them. But the truth is far more subtle, far more profound. The words you choose, how you say them, and the emotion behind them. These are what create a magnetic pull that goes beyond surface-level attraction. Think of language as a tool. Just like a sculptor wields a chisel, the words you speak can shape perception, build anticipation, and evoke emotion. Words are not just labels for objects or ideas. They are carriers of feeling, belief, and imagination. When you speak with intention, you are not merely communicating. You are affecting her internal world, triggering responses she may not even fully understand, but feels deeply nonetheless. The most effective words are not always complicated. In fact, simplicity often carries the greatest weight. A single word, carefully chosen, can trigger curiosity, excitement, and even longing. That suggest to respond, that cues the sinew and emotional value and emotional use and emotional intelligence. When your words convey that naturally, you bypass the noise and reach something far deeper, a sense of connection that is both rare and magnetic. You are no longer just talking. You are communicating in a way that resonates on an almost subconscious level. Consider how often people speak without thought, filling silence with noise that adds nothing. Most men fall into this trap. They try too hard to impress, to entertain, or to be clever, and in the process they dilute the impact of what they say. Contrast that with someone who speaks deliberately, who understands the rhythm and weight of words, and you see the difference immediately. It's not just what is said, it's how it is delivered. Timing, tone, and subtle pauses all contribute to the emotional resonance of your speech. Even silence, when used intentionally, can amplify the effect of a single word. Psychology tells us that humans are inherently emotional beings. Rational thought is a tool, but emotion drives desire. Words are one of the primary channels through which we evoke emotion in others. A compliment, carefully framed, can stir admiration. A question, thoughtfully posed, can spark curiosity. A story, told with precision, can ignite imagination. All of these create emotional triggers that make a woman want to experience more of you because she feels something profound whenever you speak. This is not manipulation, it's mastery of influence rooted in authenticity. Philosophically, this is where the power of presence intersects with language. The words you choose reflect your inner state. Confidence, self-respect, and clarity shine through every syllable. Conversely, uncertainty, neediness, or desperation is just as transparent. A woman, consciously or subconsciously, picks up on these signals. Your words become a mirror of your internal world. Mastery over language is therefore not just a technique. It is a reflection of who you are at your core. If you speak with authority, grounded in self-value, the attraction you create is inevitable. At the same time, Words alone are not magic. They are most effective when paired with authenticity. You cannot fabricate desire through clever phrasing alone. What you say must be aligned with how you feel and who you are. This is why many men fail, despite knowing pickup lines or memorized strategies. Real influence comes from integrating your words with your presence, your energy, and your actions. When your words are genuine, they resonate. When they are forced, they repel. The beauty of understanding this power is that it puts control back in your hands. You are no longer at the mercy of chance interactions or external validation. Every conversation becomes an opportunity to communicate your value, to create curiosity, and to foster connection. Even in casual exchanges, the intentional choice of words can leave a lasting impression that draws someone closer. It's about subtlety, nuance, and precision. A master of words does not need to shout to be heard. He is felt. So the next time you speak to a woman, remember this. Every word is an invitation, a signal, a vibration. Speak with awareness. Speak with intention. Recognize that what you say carries weight far beyond the surface. Let your words reflect your confidence, your intelligence, and your authenticity. When used wisely, they are not just words. They are a force that can make someone desire your presence, seek your attention, and crave your energy. In the end, it's simple, but it is profound. Words shape perception, emotions, and desire. They reveal who you are, and they invite someone into your world. Master this, and you unlock a level of connection that most men only dream of. Remember, the right words, spoken with confidence and authenticity, are not just heard. They are felt, they linger, they resonate, they create craving. And that, my friends, is the power you hold every time you open your mouth. By now, you understand that words are not just sounds. They are vehicles for emotion, connection, and attraction. But let's take it one step further. There are two simple words, that, when used correctly, have the power to make a woman feel something magnetic. Something that lingers long after the conversation ends. I'm not talking about cheesy lines or manipulative tricks. I'm talking about words that tap into something deeper. Words that awaken desire because they communicate confidence, understanding, and a subtle kind of validation that every woman craves. These two words work because they are paradoxical in nature. On the surface, they are ordinary. Yet their impact is extraordinary. They do not demand or beg. They invite. They do not flaunt or pressure. They suggest. Their power lies not in complexity, but in precision. Each syllable carries intention, and intention, as you now know, is everything. When delivered with awareness and confidence, these words trigger a psychological response, a subtle shift in perception, a spark of intrigue that can make a woman want to know you more deeply, to experience more of your presence. What's fascinating about these words is how they activate curiosity. Human beings are naturally drawn to what is slightly mysterious, slightly out of reach. We are hardwired to investigate, explore, and seek understanding. When you use these words correctly, they plant a seed in her mind. She starts to imagine scenarios, emotions, and connections that she may not have considered before. They make her pause, reflect, and notice you that a way that ordinary conversation, actimate conversation, rarely does. And when she notices you in this way, desire begins to form, not forced, not superficial, but organic, intuitive, and irresistible. Timing is everything. These words are not magic in isolation. They are powerful because they are deployed with intent at the moment when they will have the most effect. Saying them too early, too casually, or in the wrong tone can diminish their impact. But when used with subtlety and awareness, they signal confidence and emotional intelligence. You are demonstrating that you are a man who is attuned, who understands nuance, and who does not need to chase approval. And women, whether consciously or unconsciously, are drawn to that kind of presence. Psychologically, these words tap into a fundamental human desire, the need to feel seen and appreciated. Every person wants to be understood, to be recognized beyond the surface. When you speak in a way that acknowledges her, not in a flattering or superficial sense, but in a way that resonates emotionally, you create a bridge. That bridge is more than words. It is connection. And connection, as we know, is the foundation of attraction. These words are not a script. They are a tool for genuine engagement, a way to convey respect, attention, and understanding that women instinctively respond to. Philosophically, this is where your presence intersects with language. The words themselves are less important than the energy behind them. Confidence, clarity, and calm authority must accompany each utterance. You cannot rely on words alone. They must be integrated with your demeanor, your posture, your eye contact, and your overall energy. When words and presence align, they create resonance. She feels it. She cannot help but respond. It's subtle, yet profound. This is why most men fail. They focus on content without cultivating the energy that gives the words meaning. The beauty of these two words is that they are flexible, adaptable, and timeless. They can be woven into any conversation, playful, serious, casual, or intimate. Their effect is amplified when you combine them with genuine curiosity, attentive listening, and situational awareness. They are a signal that says, I see you, I value you, and I am worth your attention. That is the magnetic pull every man wants to create, but few understand how to manifest. It's not about control, it's about alignment. Aligning your words, your energy, and your intent so that the natural laws of attraction work in your favor. It is also important to understand what these words do not do. They are not a shortcut, a manipulative tactic, or a way to trick someone into desire. They are a reflection of your inner state projected outward. If your confidence is shaky, if your authenticity is compromised, these words lose their effect. Mastery of language is inseparable from mastery of self. To truly make someone crave your presence, you must first cultivate the qualities that make words powerful: self-respect, emotional awareness, and clarity of purpose. So, when you finally speak these words, you are not simply saying something. You are creating an experience. She feels it in her mind, her emotions, even her body. These words ignite a subtle yet undeniable pull, a magnetic energy that makes her want to engage with you, to learn more about you, to be near you. And because they are delivered with authenticity, they leave a lasting impression, one that is far more meaningful than any line or gimmick could ever create. In the end, these two words are a tool for connection, attraction, and influence, but their true power lies in your understanding of when, how, and why to use them. Master this, and you create not just desire, but respect, intrigue, and authentic interest. They are simple, yet profound, accessible, yet deeply impactful, sable, yet deeply impactful, and they will change the way women respond to you, not because of what you say, but because of who you are when you say it. Remember this: the right words, spoken with intent, authenticity, and presence, do more than communicate. They resonate, they linger, and they create craving. Use them wisely, and you unlock a level of attraction that most men will never understand. Now that we understand the power of words and the specific two words that spark desire, the real question becomes, how do we apply them in a way that is authentic and effective? This is where most men stumble. They either misuse their words, overthink the delivery, or try to force connection instead of letting it emerge naturally. The truth is, attraction is not created through gimmicks. It is created through alignment between what you say, how you feel, and the energy you project. When your words match your inner state, the effect is magnetic. When they don't, even the most perfectly chosen phrases fall flat. Application starts with presence. You can memorize every line or strategy in the world, but if you are distracted, anxious, or needy, she will feel it immediately. Presence means being grounded in the moment, fully aware of yourself and the person you are speaking to. It means observing subtle cues, responding with attentiveness, and allowing the conversation to flow without forcing it. These two words, when delivered in this state, act as a bridge, connecting your energy to hers in a way that feels effortless and natural. Another key element is authenticity. You cannot fabricate desire by saying something you don't believe. Words are powerful because they carry the weight of your inner truth. If your confidence, curiosity, and self-respect shine through, even the simplest statement can have profound effect. This is why so many men fail. They focus on what to say instead of how to embody what they say. Desire is drawn to authenticity. Women crave men who are real, grounded, and consistent, not men who are rehearsed or performing. Your words must reflect the truth of your character, or they will be hollow and unconvincing. Context is everything. These two words are versatile, but their impact depends on timing, tone, and circumstance. Delivered at the right moment, they ignite curiosity and longing. Delivered carelessly, they lose power. This requires sensitivity, awareness, and patience. You must read her responses, not just her words, but her body language, her energy, her micro-expressions. Attraction is a dialogue, not a monologue. When you speak, you must listen just as intently, adjusting your delivery in subtle ways that keep the connection alive. This is not manipulation. It is attentive, conscious communication. Integration with broader communication skills is also crucial. Words alone cannot carry the entire weight of attraction. Your energy, posture, eye contact, and even the rhythm of your speech all contribute to the impression you make. These two words act as focal points within this larger system. They are sparks that ignite curiosity, but the flame burns only when nurtured by your overall presence. Every gesture, every glance, every pause can amplify the impact if it aligns with your intention. This is where psychological insight meets practical skill, understanding human response and guiding it authentically. It is equally important to maintain self-respect and boundaries. Desire is attracted to men who value themselves and do not seek validation externally. Using these words effectively is not about coercion or entitlement. It is about demonstrating value through calm confidence. Women sense when a man's energy is grounded in self-worth versus when it is desperate for approval. The two words are most effective when they reinforce your authenticity rather than compensate for insecurity. When your foundation is strong, your words carry authority without arrogance, magnetism without force. Practice is essential, but it should be mindful. Repetition without reflection can turn these words into mechanical tools rather than authentic expressions. Instead, practice observing reactions, adjusting delivery, and internalizing the principles behind the words. Over time, this leads to instinctive mastery. You no longer think about what to say. Your presence and understanding naturally guide your language in ways that foster attraction. This is the difference between memorized lines and living, breathing communication that resonates deeply. The philosophical dimension of this practice cannot be overlooked. Attraction is not a game. It is an emergent property of human connection. These words are signals that communicate value, presence, and authenticity. When used wisely, they align your inner state with your external expression, creating resonance that is felt, not just heard. It is not about control or manipulation. It is about harmony. Harmony between your intent, your energy, and the response it evokes. When you master this, attraction becomes a natural outcome rather than a forced goal. Ultimately, the application of these two words is about more than making someone crave you. It is about cultivating a deeper sense of self-awareness, confidence, and emotional intelligence. Every conversation becomes an opportunity to express your value, connect meaningfully, and influence through authenticity. You are no longer reactive. You are intentional. You are no longer seeking validation. You are embodying it. And that is the core principle behind magnetic attraction. The alignment of words, presence, and self-worth. So as you go forward, remember this. The two words themselves are powerful, yes, but their true strength lies in how you embody them. Speak them with intention, deliver them with authenticity, and integrate them into your presence. Observe, adapt, and refine. In doing so, you don't just make a woman crave you. You create an energy, a connection, a resonance that draws people naturally toward your world. Master this, and you hold the key to attraction that is timeless, authentic, and profoundly effective.